Shockingly, there are still a few cruise lines that have yet to cancel their Chinese cruises in the wake of the coronavirus. It leaves the customer and the crew member in an awful predicament. What would you do if you booked an expensive Chinese cruise and the cruise line has not yet canceled? Would you just lose the money? Would you cruise anyways? Let's break it down on today's episode of the Lido Loca Cruise Show. Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the Lido Loca Cruise Show. I'm your host, Tony B. I'm your guide into that cruise life today. If you like cruising content, please consider subscribing with the notification bell on. That way you don't miss out on any of the episodes. As I mentioned in the introduction, there are still cruise lines that have not canceled their Chinese cruises in the wake of the coronavirus. The coronavirus is a deadly virus originating in the Wuhan province of China. This is a virus that health officials are still trying to figure out. Not a lot of information is known at this point. The current thinking is that the coronavirus is zoonotic in nature. That is, bacteria pass from an animal to human beings, resulting in a sickness in the human host. This could happen through food consumption, possible exposure, and the World Health Organization still trying to determine how it's passed human to human. The initial thinking is it's passed through fluids that are expelled during coughing, those kind of things. On Wednesday, Chinese officials report that 132 people have died from the coronavirus. This is a number that has increased even from their Tuesday reporting, which was at 106 people. Another alarming statistic coming out of China is the number of confirmed cases rising 25% between Tuesday and Wednesday. China's National Health Commission reported on Tuesday that the confirmed number of cases 4,515, and now they're reporting for Wednesday 5,974, a 25% increase in just one day. And as we know, the virus is not contained solely to China. Many countries across the world also reporting cases, including the United States, Taiwan, Japan, Vietnam, Canada, Australia, Nepal, Cambodia, Germany, the United Arab Emirates, South Korea, Singapore, Malaysia, just to name a few. It has been interesting to watch the cruise lines respond. Just over the past few days, Royal Caribbean, MSC Cruise Lines, and Costa have all canceled their Chinese sailings. Royal Caribbean announcing and MSC announcing that they would be issuing refunds to passengers that were booked on those cruises. That is generally the way that it works. When you have a cruise booked, if the cruise line cancels the cruise, you are entitled to a refund. If you book the cruise for whatever reason, unless you have travel insurance or if you have cancellation insurance, you will lose that money. Notably, Celebrity Cruise Line, Holland Cruise Line, and Seabourn have yet to cancel their cruises. It's not to say that they will not cancel their cruises, but part of me wonders if it's a waiting game. The cruises that are scheduled for these lines, they happen over the next 14 days, possibly the next month. And so I would assume that part of the decision making on the side of the cruise line is to track a little further and see how the spread of the virus goes. But wow, if what's been happening with the virus is any indication, it looks like it stands to get worse before it gets better. And so you have a lot of customers that are kind of in the lurch waiting for these cruise lines to cancel their cruises. It's got to be frustrating for the customers of these lines that have not yet canceled their cruises. I tell you what, it's expensive to go to China. I know firsthand, and I could not imagine if I was sitting there with the decision to either forfeit all the money I spent on my China cruise because I didn't have cancellation insurance, or go cruise in an area that is rapidly being shut down by a virus that not a lot is known about. Cities are shutting down. Hong Kong is shutting down major attractions. The borders for China closing down. They're putting travel bans in place, but yet there are still cruise lines with ports of call in these affected areas that are yet to cancel. But I tell you, this wait and see has got to be mind-numbing for customers in that situation, and it also has to be mind-numbing for the crew. I could not imagine being somebody who took a contract on a cruise ship and all of a sudden they're telling me that we're going to continue to sail to an area where there's potential virus outbreak that's killing people. In researching the story, I did come across an article on Cruise Law News. This is a blog website that is run by an attorney, Jim Walker, and he had a quote from a Seabourn employee that offered up this quote anonymously, but this quote is kind of chilling. This is what the employee on Seabourn said. "I guess my company doesn't have a plan on canceling our itinerary to Hong Kong this 1st and 2nd of February. Worse, it's our embarkation day. They think we can avoid an infected guest going on board on that day despite the incubation period of the virus, which is 10 to 14 days. I hope they will change their mind because it's like we are going to a suicide mission." Man, you think your work is stressful. How about this? You're going to work and you feel like you might be going directly into danger. It's crazy. One of the cruise lines that is yet to cancel its Asia cruises is Holland America Line. They did replace Shanghai with Yokohama as a port of call. However, the second half of the cruise there is going to some other locations in China. Holland America has come out and said that they will be doing advanced screening techniques, again using thermal screening and other techniques to try to detect people with the virus. But as you noticed in the quote from the Seabourn employee, they point out that this virus does have an incubation period of 10 days to 2 weeks. And so it is feasible that someone not showing symptoms of the coronavirus could manifest with the virus after they get on board. Scary stuff. Let me throw it over to you. Customer and crew member alike are in a pickle. If you were a customer, you'd spent all that money on your Asia cruise, you didn't have cancellation insurance. Would you take the cruise and possibly risk your health, or would you just say goodbye to the money? It's a tough call, especially if you spent thousands of dollars. I don't know. It would be tough for me. Cancellation insurance can be kind of expensive, but this is a good example of when you might want to pay for a cancellation insurance. If you're going someplace expensive, someplace across the globe, it might be worth the extra money to protect your vacation dollars. So I mentioned Yokohama earlier in the story. That is a port that I did cruise to on my Asian cruise to Japan. I'll leave a link to the video there. Check that out. Went to a really cool Japanese temple. Thanks for stopping by. I'm Tony B for the Lido Loca Cruise Show, and until the next time, we'll see you on the Lido. Bye.